Hi, I'm Shona Hutchings and welcome back to my channel Creative Zone. In today's video I'll be sharing how I print on this gel plate with some 100% cotton fabric. I wanted to experiment and make a little label for a hand sewn bag to hold my little Angel Oracle deck that I carry around in my purse. So I'll see you on the other side of the video and enjoy. Yeah. Let's get started. The supplies that I used for this project today is a small gel plate, a brayer, some cotton fabric, some patterned fabric, the golden fluid paints, nickel Azo Gold, gold iridescent, Pyrole Orange and Titan buff, a needle and thread, my sewing machine, large safety pin and a pointed nib like a skewer, a pencil or the end of a paintbrush. This is the printed fabric that I chose to use for my little bag. It's just an offcut of an old tablecloth, but I love the gold fabric and the print. And this is the calico 100% cotton that I used to print the label on in the gel with the gel plate. So I'm just using my small gel plate today. And these are the Angel Oracle cards and the bag that I have been using. It's a bought bag and I'm not fond of it, so I want to make something that's a little stronger and also just has the love and detail in it that I'm going to be seeing every day. So if you decide to do this, you can choose your own printed fabric. The gel plate is a 15 centimetre by 15 centimetre and I'm using these three colours to start with, the nickel Azo Gold, the Pyrole Orange and the Iridescent Gold. So I'm just going to put a little bit of each onto the plate, nearly running out of my iridescent gold. I've put quite a thin layer on as I'm used to printing on paper. However, this did come out very light on the material. I quite like the pattern, the sort of stripy gold and orange that's come out. Just pulling the rest of the paint off of the plate. And I think this will make a really nice base colour to then add the label to. And it matches in well with the printed fabric. With this pull, I decided to just use two colours, the nickel Azo Gold and the iridescent gold. I'm putting the paint on a little bit thicker with this one. And as you can see, as I'm rubbing, it's coming through to the back of the fabric, which is a good sign. And now I'm using the end of a paintbrush because it's rounded and I didn't want to damage the gel plate. So I'm just scraping off some of the paint. However, I just feel like it wasn't really thick enough. And when printing on a gel plate, if you're wanting to write letters, words, remember it has to be done in a mirror so that when it gets printed, it is facing the correct way. I'm using my brayer just to add a little more pressure. And as you can see, because I didn't have much paint on the plate, it came out quite faint. So now I'm adding some Pyrole Orange, nickel Azo Gold in quite a thick layer. And I changed and decided to use a pencil that doesn't have any lead in the end of it. And it just, so the wood is just a little more depth of scratchiness into the gel plate, which means I can get a clearer print. You can see in the close-up all the beautiful texture that's going to come out on the fabric. And again, writing in the mirror. This one did come out quite a lot clearer, and I was happier with that, and it did suit the gold colours in the fabric, the printed fabric as well. I'm just trimming those smaller, and I printed 2 more and cut them down to size as well. With this one I decided to use my gold Posca pen just to outline the letters and give them a little more definition. Now I'm using the Titan Buff, quite a thick layer on the gel plate, and again using the pencil. My circles are getting better, and my writing this 3rd time is also much clearer. And I used the base colours of the nickel Azo Gold and the Iridescent Gold for this pull. And as you can see, apart from the E on Oracle, that one came out really clearly. So these are the 4 that I printed. The one on the left lower hand corner, I used my gold Posca pen to write over it completely. And in this one I just had to go around the E on Oracle with the white Posca pen, or the cream coloured Posca pen. So now I'm just taking my printed fabric. It is very wrinkly, and as I don't have an iron, I'm going to just spritz it, little hack here, spritz it with some water and just stretch it. There is quite a bit of stretch in this material, so it is taking the creases out very easily with the fabric being damp. So that's nice and flat now. I'm going to make it easier for me to cut the fabric. Because this was a tablecloth and it had rounded corners, I'm just trimming it to more of a rectangle. Just checking what size I'll need for the little cards. And now just trimming it down. Checking again that it's going to be big enough. So now I'm folding it right sides together and cutting it down the centre again. Now that I have the 4 pieces, all 11 centimetres squared, I'm taking it to the sewing machine. So with this one I did clip it, but I find with such a small project that the clips are just in the way. And so with the second bag I didn't use any clips. So I'm just sewing 3 sides here and leaving one side open for the top, and I'm doing both bags. One will be the lining and one will be the outer bag. Now what I should have done, so you can learn from my mistakes, is I should have or could have sewn the label on before I stitched those up. It would have made it a lot easier. And here I've got a lovely box of threads. I've chosen the Orange Angel Oracle label, and I've got one of the stitched bags and I've turned it right side out. And now I'm just going to choose which thread I want. I'm going to hand stitch the label on. These beautiful threads and reels were all hand dyed and hand made. The wood was, she made the reels in woodwork, and then she's written labels onto all of them so that I know exactly what they've been dyed with. So this one I think matched the material best, and this is on silk, and it's from her Alder tree or Alder tree that she's used plant material from the tree to dye the silk thread. There are a couple of other threads in there that I think might suit, so I'm just having a look. This is Alder with alum, but it just seems a little bit too bright. Try the green. This is Alder with copper, dyed with copper. But no, I think I'm really happy with the Alder on its own. And so now I'm going to pop that lovely box of threads aside and find a needle. Oh, just keeps wanting to roll away. Find a needle that has a big enough eye in it that I can fit the threads through. I will leave in the link below what these threads and reels are made from, and if you're interested, please leave it in the comments below and I can put you in contact with my sister. So I wanted to put it low enough down on the bag to leave room at the top for me to make a drawstring. However, once I'd finished the bag, I realised it still wasn't low enough, the label, and there wasn't much room left at the top once I'd done stitched both of the bags together. And so I end up making a little channel of material and stitching it to the top of the bag. So rather than 11 centimetres square, it might be worthwhile if you're going to do this project, if you cut your material, your fabric, slightly larger, maybe 15 centimetres square. I'm doing a blanket stitch, or what I know as a blanket stitch. So it's just feeding the thread through, and then when it's nearly at the end, nearly pulled through, I just feed the needle through the loop and pull it. It's a very easy stitch. And it gives a great border. I went out into the garden and finished the rest of the stitching. Just popping that needle with the thread because that's a very good size. The eye in that is a very good size for that size thread. So here I've got the two stitched bags. I'm just going to pop one inside the other. So one is turned out the correct way, the one with the label on, and the other is still inside out. So that when I put one into the other, the right sides are together. And then I'm just going to clip them at the seams to hold them so the seams match up together. And then I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and stitch around, leaving a small hole so that I can turn the bag right side out on itself. So I've done that, and now I'm just rolling the seam down at the top and just flattening it out and clipping it so that I can sew a straight stitch around the top of the bag, holding it in place. It's a little bit fiddly because the bag is so small. However, it was very worth it. I was very happy with the way it came out. So as you can see, there's not much room at the top, but it looks great with the lining. And just checking that there's still plenty of room. So yes, I do want to make a drawstring at the top. The bag is fully reversible, so if you want the label to be on the inside and not show, that is also an alternative. Looks quite nice. However, I'm really wanting the label to be on the outside. And so I'm taking it back to the sewing machine and I'm stitching a straight stitch around the three edges on the outside of the bag, just to join the lining and the outer bag together. Now I've got a long strip of fabric that I just measured. So it's about, I think, 23 centimetres or nine inches. So I'm just going to put that right sides together and do a straight stitch down one side. I've decided to also do a zigzag stitch to stop it from fraying. So I'm just going to quickly run it through the machine again on zigzag and then trim the edges off the seam. Using a medium-sized safety pin, I'm going to attach the safety pin to the end and push it into the fabric, into the hole, and push the fabric along and over so that it turns right sides out like a little worm. I'm just spritzing it with the water again just to get the seams flattened out. Now I'm just checking it for the length around, and I'm going to leave it hanging over the top of the bag, so I'm just going to catch it with a straight stitch to the bag. And just trim the ends to fit. I've clipped one end to hold it in place and taking it back to the sewing machine to stitch it on. And just trimming it again a little bit. It was a little bit long. And now it's ready for me to thread some twine. So I'm going to use that safety pin again. Make sure to put a knot in the end of the twine. This is useful for pushing the safety pin through and holds it while you feed it through the top of the bag. And it also stops the twine from unravelling. I've just noticed that there's a little section of the bag that didn't catch, a little section of the top of where I want the tassel to go through that didn't catch the top of the bag. So I just have to take that back to the sewing machine and hopefully stitch it to the edge of the bag this time. And so making sure that the little oracle cards, the angel oracle cards, fit in, and they do. You can either wrap that around or just tie it in a little bow. But it is looking very sweet. Cute little bag. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed the process of creating a printed label for a hand sewn little tiny bag, and that you get some ideas and possibly create your own bag to be able to pop things in that's light and portable for carrying around on a daily basis. It was fun to make, and I'll be showing you in the next video, if you're into angel oracle cards, I'll be showing you how to make your own little deck, which you can use in your own little bag. See you in the next video, and please, if you enjoyed this one, don't forget to leave comments below, click the like, subscribe and share the video with a friend. It does help my channel to grow, and I do appreciate your support so much. Thanks for being here. Ciao for now.